a lot of times in yoga we believe that if you can control the breath, then you can control the mind, therefore your perspective on life.
The powerlessness is in the past and future.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
And the power, like, it's right here. Like, it's all harnessed right here.
Just want people to keep slowing down, taking long breaths, finding connection to themselves, to their experience. That's what this whole thing's about, just to experience life.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another amazing and exciting and most certainly enthusiastic episode of Finding Peaks. Yours truly, Chris Burns, president and founder, joined today by the one and only Tara Patton, activities director, wellness and mindfulness extraordinaire. So grateful to have you on the show, my friend.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. These always push me out of my normalcy, out of my comfort zone, and it's nice to do that every once in a while.
Yeah, and for the first time, we're going to formally invite Kai and Zion on the show as well. Tara's got identical twins, miracle babies brewing, and so we got a whole different aura and energy going on in here. And so just want to invite everybody into the room, Finding Peaks. Welcome.
Thank you. They're grateful to be here as well.
Sweet. We were chatting a little bit before the show, and you know, we do what we do, I think, because it provides so much purpose and centeredness in our lives. And has any of that changed since learning that you're going to become a mother? Like what you do and how you do it, and how you pursue not only your own wellness, but maybe how you connect with others on that?
Oh yeah. I think pregnancy in general changes us so much, but definitely with movement, right? There's this limitation, but it allows us to slow down, and slowing down in a beautiful way that you're more present, you're witnessing these changes of things that you used to be able to do, you can't do anymore. And so having compassion has been a really big practice. And you know, it gives me more understanding of different people's capabilities and ways to modify things for them as well. So in a way, it's been a really wonderful tool physically, movement-wise, and it's definitely been a magical tool for mindfulness. Like, it's been so deepening being able to slow down in this way and have this intuition and closeness to energy and spirit, whatever you want to call it, that really helps me show up more, show up better for everyone we work with and for the people in my circles, my family.
Yeah, you can feel that kind of presence, that overwhelming presence and spirit and energy and passion in the work that you do. And not just that, but like the folks that I have the opportunity to sit down with every now and then, and how they rave about what you do and how you show up so authentically. And I think it's actually kind of cool too from a movement side of things, because you're oftentimes working with people that have, you know, comorbidities, have certain physical issues, have ailments. And so now it's like this more, not more, but a more settled approach, or a more understanding and connected approach, probably even in that regard.
Oh, absolutely. So much more connected to that experience, because now I have embodied it, right? My whole practice with all the clients is this embodiment, and now I get to embody these more challenging movement capabilities. And so it allows me to really connect to their experience, understand it, because I have the wisdom of it now inside of me, so I can show up better for them. And I'm just so blessed with what I do at Peaks. It's such a beautiful part of the program, that getting to connect with them in that way and show them tools of self-regulating, tools all inside of them, and like being able to offer them things that they will be able to take with them outside of Peaks as they fine-tune them while they're getting regulated with us. So
it's so dope too, because it's like, I was thinking this morning when I was on my walk, and like the sun came up, and I remember I was like doing a little video, and I was like, oh, and I was like, medicine. And that's what I think is so cool about what you do. And what's so my favorite thing about what we do is we offer this thing that insurance doesn't pay for, but that we know actually heals folks on a trajectory of long-term recovery. And it's called this opportunity to engage in this free stuff, and you show them every morning. I remember talking about with Dan when he was here, but about your morning routine thing. About how you guys had that thing going. But this holistic component that you create is free, easy to use, doesn't come in a capsule, and is
Yeah.
sustainable for your whole life.
100%.
I mean,
And it's just such, yeah, exactly. Like going out for our hikes, there's so many studies that show going out in nature is so wonderful for our mental health. Getting that sun on our face, like these things they look forward to because it's immediate experience of feeling better, moving their body, having, good conversations. People tend to be more open, authentic, and share themselves more when they're in movement while they're walking. And so having the ability to get to do that with them is just amazing.
Yeah. I forget about that too, how I met with a friend this morning that I normally sit down and have a coffee with, and I was like, well, just meet me at the park by my house, let's just walk. And so I've been trying to do that lately, and I find that like by the end of it, like I'm what always dawns on me and what is always so clear is that like it doesn't matter, but we do. And so no matter where you go, no matter what you're doing, what type of intensity you're experiencing in your environment, if you have these things called like authentic connection, life's pretty swell. You know?
Right. If we just bring it down, like it's the most simple things that really make a space in our heart, like that really carry us. It's gonna be going for that walk with a friend. It's gonna be moving your body. It's gonna be taking intentional breaths that are gonna fill your body with this energy that is going to bring you through mental challenge. A lot of times in yoga we believe that if you can control the breath, then you can control the mind, therefore your perspective on life. So how simple of a thing, but to breathe, to change your experience, to bring more peace, clarity, joy. It's the simple things that have the most impact.
Yeah, and introducing too in that like as well, like you're so right, like the relational component of it. I was chatting with that friend today, and I thought to myself, and it just dawned on me today that like addiction kind of is this thing that we focus on, but really it's like it's isolated, it's disconnected, it's all alone, it's absent of relationships. But there's still community in it, and so I understand a lot of times why people feel valued in this community and have a tough time transitioning to this one. But authentic connection doesn't have to come in these huge shapes and sizes. What I see you do with individuals and groups is engage them on that level, which provides this opportunity, I think, like for a light at the end of the tunnel.
Oh yeah.
You know?
A lot of times my day is not like sitting, how you would imagine a yoga experience where I'm sitting at front and I'm leading this class. It's witnessing people, like sitting with someone that I'm seeing them go through challenge. Eye contact, how are you going, what's going on? It's that connection, it's like that authentic caring that really is my job. My job, yes, I'll run you through some movement, but it's more a deeper thing. Like even today, before I came in here, there's a woman walking through a manic episode and having really deep challenge with stillness. And so today my class was very different. It was sitting with her. It was working through stuff verbally with everyone, talking about common things like that they all are walking through. And so it's that connection piece that's probably the most important part of my job, is being able to sit and listen and just be there. It's not about me doing anything.
Yeah.
It's really their experience. It's most important.
It's crazy how simple and like complicated that is.
Yeah, I
like
know.
it feels like
right?
It's like just sit and be like whole here with one other person.
Right.
You're like, what?
Right. It's mind-blowing in this society, because this society is like produce, achieve, go,
Goal,
it's fast,
outcome.
Go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to teach this class. This is what the goal is. And it's like, no. Slow down, be present, witness what's happening in this space, and then be with that. And then work off of that. Don't try and achieve something here. That's not what we're working towards. Yeah.
It's very Eckhart Tollean.
Hey,
It is very Eckhart
I love
Tolle.
that man.
Yeah.
You're here now. Okay.
So what he said, so like he wrote a book called The Power of Now, of course.
Yeah.
And psychological time, but really the powerlessness is in the past and future.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
And the power, like it's right here. Like it's all harnessed right here. And I'm here with you on a podcast right now, talking on a Thursday. We're doing our thing. There's actually like, regardless of whatever I have going on, regardless of whatever you have going on, if we're here together, we're not engaging in suffering. We're engaging in presence and connection.
Yeah.
and potential influence with others,
Totally.
which is dope, right?
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. I think the struggle with now, though,
yeah.
with people is like being in the now is uncomfortable at first.
So bad.
And we never talk about that part of it, right? Like it's uncomfortable to be in stillness and like have to witness what's really going on for you. Or, you know, maybe it's in a yoga class where we're being in these poses, but in stillness, you're like, wow, why is frustration coming up for me? Why is anger coming up for me? Or sometimes overwhelming joy that you actually feel your body again, making you cry. Like, it's not beautiful the now all the time. Yes, the power is in it, but we have to stop making it seem like this only beautiful thing to be in presence, because the realness shows up in our presence, the truth of what we're walking through. And so, Eckhart Tolle got it right for sure, but I think there's something
I love
to be said.
I love what you're saying, and I agree 100%. Is actually like the uncommon thing would be to be present fully, and so we have these glimpses and these peer-ins, if you will, to this process that unequivocally for most people is impossible 24 hours a day. You know, like it's so like we get to peer into it, and to your point, like the longer I'm in recovery, the more I'm able to sit with it. But if you ask me in my first year, like if you start delivering on some Eckhart Tolle, you know, and you're telling me power of now, like my leg's gonna start shaking really bad, you know, I'm not gonna be able to sit still, and it's not gonna be really uncomfortable. So to your point, inviting people in these moments of presence, and then allowing them to get back to somewhat has been working for them as well, you know?
Yeah, and especially in the work that we do, it's like some people have been so numb, whether that be through, you know, numbing out with social media and TV, or numbing out through substance, whatever it is, that when I try and like get them to feel subtle sensations in the now, it's like, what are you talking about? You know, that's not even present. Or to the other degree, people are like, I can't sit here anymore. You know, we're working with people that have been avoiding presence and avoiding the now. And so giving them these glimpses at first, giving them the breath work, just giving them something that they can check in with themselves, check in with their body, like, okay, this is a sensation I haven't felt before. And just that is enough. Just that is enough. We don't want to overwhelm them with like, you know, silent retreats or anything.
Yeah, even I think about a silent retreat. I'm like, wow, man. Or like the ones where Aaron Rodgers, he goes in the dark for like 2 weeks or whatever. it is,
Yeah,
10
I did a
days.
silent retreat earlier this year.
How was that?
It was hard. Even with a meditation practice, even with, you know, what I thought was a good mindfulness practice, it was sitting in silence for 3 days. And
You might think like right on the front end, like, I'll be down for that.
Yeah.
It's like a 3-day fast.
I was like,
what
oh,
could
no
go wrong?
technology, don't have to talk, don't have to socialize, I could just be. I was like, this is gonna be amazing. And then the first 3-hour seated meditation, I was like, this is not quite what I thought it was. You're meeting yourself in the deepest way. And then like your body wants to like make it so you can't sit there. It's like, oh, your back hurts really bad. And you're like, no, it doesn't hurt. But it's like these manifested things to try and pull you out of presence.
Yeah.
And it was deeply challenging. Yeah.
How long would you sit in meditation?
We
at
would
the retreat?
do the morning session, 3 hours. Then we get
Sit for 3 hours?
Yeah, sit for 3 hours. And
Like-
then we would get a break for lunch, and we sit for 3 hours, and then we get a break, and then we sit for 3 hours, and then you had an optional fourth sit after dinner.
Cross-legged.
Cross-legged. Some people would choose chairs.
Little chairs.
Yeah, like a comfortable chair,
Okay.
like straight back. Some people would lay down, because I mean, this is
Yeah,
it's
dude.
hard.
I'd be like, oh.
It is hard. So you would transition through different poses as you are sitting there, for sure. And the funny thing that I never even thought to think of is like I'm sitting there in silence, and I'm hearing this person's stomach grumbling, this person needs to blow their nose. Like
All these things are like,
yeah, I'm like, oh my God.
if we were talking, this wouldn't be so bad.
Or like even like some meditation music,
It was
like
just,
literally silent. They ring a bell, boop, and then that is it.
you don't hear any traffic, it's away from things.
Oh yeah, it's in the mountains. Yeah.
Wow.
It was wild.
What is the overarching, like, the big takeaway from something like that?
Honestly, there's so much peace, even though I'm talking, of course, of the challenge, there's so much peace and there's so much to explore inside of you. It's endless. You have so much wisdom, so many stories, so much beauty inside of you. If you spent the time just to be in stillness with yourself, you wouldn't have to go anywhere. You don't have to go on a vacation. There's so much that we carry. And so
Even in just 3 days.
in 3 days, yeah. You just so much beauty. Like, my grandmother comes up that passed away, these experiences that I've had. And
You haven't thought about in forever.
in forever, just come up that, come into the mind.
Some that you forgot about?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, and they come up in beautiful ways. And even the challenging stuff, the things that I still have work around, like my shame, my guilt stuff comes up too. Those ones I usually am like, ooh,
It makes my shoulder.
get out of here. But it's my takeaway is maybe not total silence, but being in stillness with yourself. There's so much to explore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so rad. It's interesting the way you describe that is how most people describe psilocybin retreats.
Really?
Like the grand takeaway.
Yeah.
It really is like
Is
what you
it?
just said. I think it's just really, really cool, really objective, and really introspective.
Yeah. I tell clients all the time, I'm like, what's divergent is you doing this right now. Like you choosing self-care and stillness. And this, in a world like we just talked about, that's like progress, achievement, to be still is to be the contradiction of that ideal, right? So sitting here with yourself is something I think they want us to avoid, right? Like, because we have so much beauty, so much. If we let the stories, the projections, everything melts away as we sit in this stillness together, then we get to witness, wow, like I am whole. I'm healing, but I'm whole too. And I have so much beauty inside of me. And those stories, what's happened, those projections are true or not true, but they don't affect this thing that I'm getting to witness in my stillness. And so, I think that's the takeaway for life, like simplify, slow down.
Yeah. I like that. I love that. They don't talk a lot about that in Alcoholics Anonymous, unfortunately.
I know.
But TJ Woodward talks about it quite a bit. And
I love
that
his
essential
work.
self that you're kind of focusing, like you get to kind of see that essential self, which is whole and perfect, and then you get to go hold that space for others, which actually is like, in my opinion, it's what the best therapy is people that are able to take care of that and see that about themselves and go and hold that space for others, like you were talking about, it not just being a class and this potential individual exchange. And sometimes you don't even have to say anything.
Yeah.
Which is even sometimes probably more powerful in the work you do.
Yeah. Especially in our work, right? Like a lot of people have shame and stuff. And so even just 2 days ago on a hike, this guy's like, I just don't feel like I deserve forgiveness. Like, why do I deserve it? And I'm like, what do you mean? Did you not forgive yourself by coming here? That you're worthy of this care, you're worthy of this experience. You need to, let down that intellectual protector in your mind that's telling you that you aren't worthy of this experience. That essence of you, that pureness inside, is worthy of forgiveness.
Yeah.
So.
That's dope. When you hit people with that, like, fuck, we used to be like, drink, you're gonna die. Like, right. Are you kidding me now? Like, this is like, wah, wah. It's like I just saw downtown here at the Methodist Church, they did 4 songs from Imagine Dragons, 4 songs from Coldplay, and it was I don't know if it's called a quintet or it was 4 of them.
Okay.
3 violins and a cello.
Oh, beautiful.
And they ripped, and there was like 1,000 candles in there.
Oh.
Tickets were like $19. It was like one of the greatest things I've ever chose to do.
Oh, okay.
Went with my mom last weekend.
Oh,
and the
fun.
boys and Cass. You walk in, there's all these candles. They're fake candles, which isn't my thing.
We don't burn it down.
But it's beautiful. And that's what it sounds like to me. It's just like this harmonic rhythm and this flow of energy that in this ecosystem that you're able to create alongside other team members in the multidisciplinary team that really allows people to feel really, really safe and even safe enough to consider things like, I'm whole and perfect.
Right.
Okay, that's great.
Right.
Because I was, all this stuff that you're talking about, like I had thought that, like at one point, until they were like, none of that shit, fella.
Yeah, right.
And so the old ways, and I understand sometimes, and I know there's some really good components, and I'm still down with it and things like that. But gosh, when we sit here and talk, and I think about an authentic healing process, I'm so grateful that this type of care is out in front of the people that we serve.
100%. Yeah, what we do at Peaks is special. It's different. It's not, kid gloves, but we allow them to have big emotions because we're a safe space. We allow, they feel safe and comfortable with us to say that they are undeserving of forgiveness, because we create this space that, they can have their darkest, deepest expression, and we aren't going to judge them. We're going to sit there. We're going to listen to them. No shaming. Past programming has like this bit of undertone of shame, and everything that we do is not coming from that space. It's coming from the violin. It's coming from the let me meet you with open hands. Let's do this together. And really, I think what people need from this space is like that allowance to maybe think that I am whole, and that these stories that create shame for me are not me, so that when they leave our care, they can create a life that has that in the background, so that they can trust when things start going good. They can build this life that has joy and happiness, and not try and push it away or sabotage or anything, because they do have that glimmer of like, wait, I am good. I am whole. Yeah,
it's like
I
the
deserve.
Dopest seed that could be planted.
Yeah. Because then they'll accept a life that's better than the one that they were numbing out for or they were running from. And then once you create a life that is better than what felt good to you as a maladaptive behavior, then your life is gonna keep growing into that instead of leaning into the maladaptive behavior.
Yeah.
So
it's a seed that is really, really sustainable and lasts for life, regardless of if like the individual or the guest in our care decides to go out and follow the aftercare instructions or not. It's really this authentic piece that says like, you're valuable. And it's one of those things. I was always thinking that, but I know a lot of people that would sit in these like trap houses and these really acute mental health situations and think like, I think I'm better than this.
Right.
And I'd always have that thought, I'm just waiting for somebody to say it. Nobody's saying it. And then there's like a couple people that are like, I love you. You're like, whoa.
Right.
Shoof. Okay, so we're in it today. We're back in it. And so to your point, it's like this seed that permeates, marinates, and is consistent over the course of time. We won't change everything today, but that's not the idea.
Not the idea. Yeah, I would say like even in my own journey, I'd always be walking through whatever challenge was in front of me. Maybe I went too hard on the weekend, and so afterwards I'd be like, I am better than this, but I would choose a behavior that would make the narrative of what I thought I was true, right? Like I would continue to choose behaviors that were not towards my highest and best, but then when I would go back to my life and like, oh wow, like I am more, but I had to change that narrative of I'm not a good enough person for that, And so that's the beauty of Peaks, is we actually get to change that core narrative.
Yeah, it sucks playing that. It's like that uphill game. It's like now I got to do 6 great things because I did 5 bad. What I didn't do, I kind of like 5.5, so 6.5.
Right.
And I'm counting too. Like
karma math.
Oh yeah, you remind me of this. There was this guy in our program. His name was Mark, and Mark had been to like 10 treatments. He was probably a little older than me. He was like 45 at the time.
Okay.
And I think it was in the pandemic, so it might have been 2020 or 2019. And he had been most recently in a program in Prescott, Arizona. I'm not going to name the program. That's just very militant, very 12-step, very driven on behavior modification, is what it is.
Yeah.
And he'd been in that program for 10 months. And what happens in those programs is like, right, wrong, or indifferent, they engage the shit out of your family. button them up, tie them up, and they're in their hands. And so if Joey wants to leave treatment, we just call family, they don't do it. So family is very much like if you leave, it's like intervention style.
Okay, yep.
So whatever, Peaks 10 years ago used to be more closely aligned with that than they weren't, and some 12-step did. But anyway, so fast forward, he's sitting in a peer group of mine, and he had been at Peaks, he was just finishing up a couple months or whatever it was at the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Mark, and I said, what is it, you've been in Peaks 60 days, and your family had kind of written him off, and he was in our family program, he's probably working, it was either Pema or someone else, might have been Lisa or Pema at the time. And I'm like, what did you get? What was it? And he says this thing that it feels very cliche a lot of time, but I felt it so much in the moment. He said, I'm perfect just the way that I am. Like Peaks, that's what I came to get, I didn't know. And that's what I'm leaving with.
Oh.
So and we're good.
Talk about 180.
I'm just like, and I don't give a shit like how many days in sobriety you have, man.
Yeah.
Life's hard sometimes.
Amen. Amen.
It's a really cool thing. And so it actually reminds me, and when I heard this song from Mahali.
Ooh, yeah.
So Mahali just released an album called Before the Dream.
Yeah.
There's a song called Wise Man on it. Mm-hmm. I don't know how long ago that came out, but a few years ago probably.
Yeah. And
when I first heard it, I was like, oh, that's why I never feel like I've worked a day in my life. Because there's Before the Dream, this album, I just heard him on a podcast, and he would have these thoughts, lyrics, chords, artistic thoughts before he went to sleep, and then he would wake up and he would spend the next morning or the next day writing this album, and all these songs would come up.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's called Before the Dream. But there's this quote in his chorus for Wise Man, and I'm not gonna butcher it, I'm gonna get it right. It says, a wise man said to me, give all your love for free, and what you're given in return is more than you can earn. And when you're ready to find real wealth, put another before yourself, 'cause it's lonely at the top until we all have got a spot. Bum, 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 bum. And the trumpets play.
The best trumpet.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when I hear
song.
that and I'm driving and I'm like, all of the stuff, shout out to Mahali Music.
Yeah, thank you.
All of the stuff seems to slip away, and I seem to come back to the present moment. And I get to walk in here with you, and I was listening to it before I got here. And it's cool today to be driven with purpose, to walk with people authentically in a healing space,
Yeah.
Feels good.
So good. That's why this job is just so beautiful, right? Because it's like so purposeful. Everything I give, which, my whole heart, my whole, it's returned to me by just getting to see people experience it. See people like the light come on, see people, having an experience where they, finally feel their body again, or come out of a very deep depression and believe that they're worthy of happiness. So everything that I do, I get back tenfold by doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. What you're given in return is more than you can earn.
100%.
It's interesting theory though, because it's or concept. In my life, in your life, it's a fact, but for others it might be a concept. Because when you turn on the TV and you go out in our environment right now and you listen to whatever you might listen to, it's kind of the opposite of what you're hearing.
Oh yeah. 100%. 100%. But there has to be something to be said. I am one of those people that do all like the self-help programs and Tony Robbins and stuff. And all of them say be of service. All of them do. And, these guys are the top of their game for a reason. And that being of service, there's a reason why it's so important. And it's part of their must-do protocols. Because what we get to experience every day, that feeling, that connection, that ripple effect that we get to see.
Yeah, and that's how you all just continue to rock it and disrupt the industry through quality of care, is these subtle, but yet not subtle nuances that you actually don't get paid for. I mean, there's a tremendous amount of treatment programs that just come in and do the job, and do the human thing and have an objective and goals, and yeah, we do that, but we do this too, which is so much more anchoring, because you got to do that.
Right.
At bare minimum and at breast.
The state says
Yeah.
you must do that.
Right. So you got to do that. And I just think the way that you all are meeting people is so cool. And as much as Peaks has changed over the last 10 and a half years, the same thread of like, nobody cares what you know until they know that you care is carried out in a really even more authentic way today through individuals like you that choose to call Peaks employment home.
Yeah. So grateful for it.
Yeah.
Feel so blessed. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you coming on the show. Let's think. You have any amazing quotes to share with anybody? Any inspirational stories? Anything you want to get off your chest? What was that show? Was it on MTV?
Okay.
Where people used to call in. It wasn't Truth or Dare. It wasn't like they would call in.
when they would like call in and like dedicate songs?
Yes.
Yeah,
Well, they
yeah.
would not only dedicate songs, but there was also a game.
Oh, a game.
Maybe I'm thinking something totally different. Anyway.
I don't know. I don't know that one. But I'm not good at quotes. No, I'm not gonna throw a quote out. But I just know that we're doing some good stuff, and I'm grateful to be a part of it. And just want people to keep slowing down, taking long breaths, finding connection to themselves, to their experience.
Yeah.
That's what this whole thing's about, just to experience life. So.
Well stated. End of
Tara
story.
quote.
Yeah, that's a Tara quote. Tara Patton, everybody. Let's go. No, that's the experience that I get to, kind of live on the outside of and connect with a little bit. I'm grateful for you, your team, the people you have the opportunity to work alongside to carry out this very, very critical mission of ours to save lives through quality of care. So thank you for coming on today, my friend.
Yeah, thank you.
Peace.